All right, you guys. So, as you can see, we are warp speed into season 2 in review. So, guys, I want to thank you very much for joining me here for this season 2 review. We're going to get a look at season 2. We're going to pick out my personal favorite and most significant moments from season 2. We're going to discuss those moments real briefly, and then of course, guys, I want to know what your thoughts are, so put your comments down below. I'm going to have certain questions that I'm going to throw at you throughout this whole thing, guys, so I want you to pay attention and please participate and put those questions or any statements or anything that you have to say, anything that you have in regards to season 2. Maybe there's something I missed, maybe I got something wrong. Hey man, call me out on it. Put the comments down below and let me know, guys. So let's do it. Let's get started. So guys, we are warp speed here with Hera and Kanan here, and I am co-piloting this thing here today in my Jedi gear, as you guys can see. So you can refer to me as Jedi Master AD Do It All Day. So that's how we're going with it here today, guys. So we are going to get started with our look at season 2, Star Wars Rebels. All right, guys, so Siege of Lothal is where we're going to start at with season 2. An excellent episode, one of my favorite episodes in Star Wars Rebels, of course, because it features Darth Vader prominently throughout this particular episode. So it's an excellent episode. We have him here talking to Minister Tua. He's grilling her on her failures to capture the rebels, and what we're going to see is an elaborate setup involving Minister Tua.
Until someone reveals the whereabouts of these traitors.
Now, of course, here we have Commander Sato. This is the first time we're getting to see Commander Sato in his command. Of course, we have Ahsoka there, and the first time that we have our group of rebels combined with the command of rebels. So very cool, and nice to get that here in Rebels.
What is the meaning of this? An incoming transmission. Who from, Chop?
Okay, so here we have Minister Tua is killed, and this is what I was talking about with the elaborate setup with them framing the rebels for her death. Okay, so here we have first meeting with Kanan and Ezra and Vader. Very cool, and again, this is why it's one of my favorite episodes of Rebels. It's probably a close second to the episode with Maul and at Mandalore, but we'll obviously get to that a little bit later on, guys. So absolutely cool. Again, I love the way Vader looks. Love this battle right here, because just Vader just overpowers them, one-handed. Love it. Guys, I did a diorama of this particular battle right here on my channel. If you want to check that out, please look through the playlist and you should find it, guys. But look at Vader. He's just dominating, as he should have. As he should have. This is my favorite part right here. He's just about to behead Ezra. So awesome. And then Kanan just comes in and saves the day, barely. I love it. They did a really good job with this part, because they showed how dominant Vader is, how inadequate Kanan is at this particular point versus Vader. And of course, I mean, look, Ezra, no match. He just tosses him away. Awesome. And then this is a very, very good way of allowing the rebels, like right there where Vader hit Kanan on the side right there. It just shows he would have taken Kanan's arm off if Kanan had not had the shoulder guard right there. So again, it shows Vader's dominance and the luck of the Force that Vader didn't take his arm off because he had the shoulder pad there. But right here, we get to see the might of Vader. They think they've destroyed Vader. And of course, no, man, you have not. Dude, he's not us. Awesome. So again, awesome battle. One of my favorite moments from Rebels. This battle with Vader versus Kanan and Ezra. Sabine tries to get her shots in. Vader deflects it, knocks her back. Love it, love it, love it. That is all Vader. That is all. I mean, it's even shades of Anakin with the deflect. I mean, come on. It's awesome. And they did a really, really good job with this.
The rebels will not leave the planet yet.
Now, this also is a very, very cool part of Rebels, one of my favorite parts. We have Vader. We're going to get a look at Vader and his piloting skills, so let's get a look at that. We have Vader against a good portion of the Rebel fleet. We have a couple of command ships, and we're going to have several, well, basically Phoenix Squadron is going to be going out battling Vader right here. So very, very cool. Exciting, and one of my favorite parts of Rebels. Again, getting a look at Vader and his piloting. Look at that awesome move, avoiding all the blasts, all the lasers. Takes out two of the Phoenix Squadron immediately.
Fleet, raise deflector shields.
We've lost Phoenix.
He heads for one of the Corvettes. Now he's headed for the command ship.
He's heading right for us. Enemy fighters making for the command ship.
Just doing damage. How can one fight a best Darth? It's Vader, bro.
Are outmatched, Commander. Getting involved.
Hera's getting involved. Very cool. So now we're going to get into this Hera versus Vader thing right here, guys. So what I want to know from you, who is the better pilot? Is it Hera? Is it Vader? Put those comments down below. Let me know, who do you think is the better pilot? So look at this move by Vader. He turns around, spins, takes out a Phoenix Squadron member, takes out another one. I mean, absolutely cool. And very reminiscent of the Poe Dameron move, but this move came before Poe Dameron's move in The Last Jedi. So it's interesting that we saw that move from Poe Dameron in The Last Jedi, but yet Vader pulled that same move right here in Rebels. So very, very cool, guys.
Let's find out how strong.
How can I help?
Just remember your training. So we have Ahsoka and Kanan reaching out to find out who that is in that fighter. Ezra feels the coldness.
I feel cold. I think I know who it is. Back on Lothal, I felt something. Kanan did too.
The anger, the hate.
The hate? It's the Sith Lord we faced.
The apprentice lives. Very interesting that Vader instantly knew that it was Ahsoka that was reaching out to him, but Ahsoka seemed to not really know, or maybe she was unsure, or maybe she was in complete denial that who she reached out to was actually Anakin, or maybe it's because Anakin now has the Vader persona and he fully is the Vader persona.
We have entered the system and await your orders.
Move your destroyers to block their escape, but hold your fire. I want these rebels alive.
So cool. Now we have again Hera versus Vader.
Suddenly there's a lot to do back here.
Sorry to spoil your fun, Zed, but I'm ordering Chopper to divert all power to the
This is a very cool maneuver by Hera, and I'm in no way saying that Hera is a better pilot than Vader, but I think this is a very cool maneuver that she does to kind of not only outwit Vader, but outwit the Empire as well.
Then that is our primary target.
Interesting that Anakin, Vader didn't see this coming.
Firing at us? Now do it fast!
Target moving into range.
Activate tractor beam on my signal.
Absolutely like this part.
Hera!
Wait.
Now, gotcha.
Hera's out of there. And then caught Vader.
Status report on the rebel craft.
Sir, we've locked onto a ship, but it's not the rebel craft.
It's Lord Vader's ship. Release him immediately. It's not your fault.
Sir. But
Lord Vader won't know that. So, did Lord Vader choke that guy out for getting him caught in the tractor beam right there? So, really cool. Absolutely enjoyed that episode. Again, one of the best episodes of Rebels. The Emperor.
Lord Vader, have you dealt with the rebels in the Lothal system?
Yes, Master. They are broken.
And yet I sense in you something more to your victory.
I believe the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker.
The apprentice of Anakin Skywalker
And is in league with these rebels.
Are you certain?
It was her.
This is an opportunity we cannot let pass. Skywalker's apprentice could lead us to other lost Jedi.
Skywalker's apprentice could lead us to other lost Jedi.
If he lives, be patient, my old friend. For now, dispatch another Inquisitor to hunt them down.
Dispatch another Inquisitor to
As
hunt
you
them
wish,
down.
my
And
master.
man, I don't know who's doing the Inquisitor. It might be my guy Whitmer voicing the Emperor right there. I think it is him voicing the Emperor. He does Maul and the Emperor in this series, and that's a great Emperor. So right here we have our introduction to Rex and the Clone Wars in Rebels. So we're getting a look at Rex once again, older Rex.
They're clones.
Of course, Kanan is somewhat leery of the clones because of his experience with the clones in Order 66. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed this particular episode, because not only we get to see Rex again and the clones, but they kind of address Order 66 and Kanan's experience with it, and Rex experience with it, and his removal of the chip from his brains. Now here we get the discussion of Order 66, Kanan's experience.
The end of the war. Our fellow soldiers, the clones, the ones we Jedi fought side by side with, suddenly turned and betrayed us. I watched them kill my master. She fought beside them for years, and they gunned her down in a second. Then came for me. Later they said they had chips in their heads that made them do it. Said they had no choice.
I didn't betray my Jedi. Wolf, Gregor, and I all removed our control chips. We all have a choice.
Very cool scene right there, and I loved it. Then, of course, we have Rex and Ahsoka's reunion. Very nostalgic and cool moment for those of us who watched the Clone Wars for 7 years and grew up with Ahsoka and you know, just grew to love these two characters, and here they are reunited again. And this is one of the great things that Rebels does, is brings you back to the Clone Wars. Now here we have our introduction of the fifth brother and seventh sister, which I know a lot of people had their problems with the Inquisitors, but I actually thought the seventh sister and fifth brother were pretty cool. I know the spinning lightsabers were also a problem for people. They grew on me. I'm not mad at them. I'm not going to run out and buy me a spinning lightsaber.
Zaga, is that you?
And then, of course, right here, guys, we have our guy Hondo from the Clone Wars. And of course, here we have the flight of the prototype for the B-Wing. Very cool to see this here. very cool to also see that Hera is the one that initially piloted the B-Wing, and it looks really, really good here with some of the maneuvers it does. Unfortunately, I don't have a B-Wing in my collection. That is something that I hope to change very soon.
Let's see what this beast can do. Definitely not afraid of it.
And that's another thing that Rebels does really, really well, is introduce vehicles, or introduce the origins of certain vehicles and how they came about to the rebellion. I know there was some people who were a little confused about how the X-Wings came into the hands of the rebellion. That wasn't fully explained when we saw them in this past season, season 4. But I'm sure they will somehow, some way get that explained to us, how the X-Wings came to be a part of the rebellion.
Steady.
But here we get to see the B-Wing in full action. It takes out a destroyer to the amazement of Callus.
That's impossible.
Very interesting that we never got to see this weapon used again.
All right, you guys. So we're going to end it right here, but part 2 will be up shortly. But I want to thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the Mace Windu Force Ghost, may the Force be with you always.